Welcome back to Takacs McGinnis Elder Care Law Hour. I'm your co-host, Tim Takacs, and we're talking about love in the golden years.
And I'm Barbara McGinnis. In this segment, we're going to be talking specifically about how Medicare and Social Security can be impacted by remarriage, divorce, and death. With us is Frank Cardenas, the president of FEDlogic, and he is going to explain some of those things for us. Welcome, Frank.
Thanks for having me.
You've been on before.
I have.
And we appreciate your expertise. What about if I'm an ex-spouse, can I collect on Social Security of my former spouse?
The answer is yes, you can. It's a little bit complicated because there's a lot of rules that come into play.
Okay, we're used to them.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's, you know, and not every case is the same. But the general answer is yes. Ex-spouses can collect on their former spouse.
So what are some of those circumstances that would make that apply?
Yeah, typically they have to have been married for 10 years. So marriage certificate and divorce decree to prove those 10 years worth of marriage. They of course have to be of age to receive, you know, benefits, and their ex-spouse.
62.
Yes, and the ex-spouse also has to be, you know, age 62 to receive benefits. So if there's a little bit of an age disparity there, they may, you know, those rules will come into play.
Right. So what if you're a person that believes in marriage? So you've been married several times.
Right.
You know, and you've been married to one person, like maybe for like two persons or for more than 10 years each. What do you do then?
The same rules apply. So the rule is yes, if they've been married for 10 years each independently, then they both are entitled to the same type of benefit. And they have to have been divorced also for 2 years in order to receive those ex-spousal benefits.
Okay, but I don't collect two benefits then, do I?
No,
I get the higher one, right?
That's right. Yeah, you can't double collect. You can just collect on the higher of the two benefits.
Okay.
As long as you have not remarried as well.
Okay, run that by me again.
No, so if you're collecting ex-spousal benefits, that also indicates that you have not remarried.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah. Your ex-spouse could remarry, but you could not remarry.
That's right. That's right.
Another reason not to remarry. We haven't really got to that part yet.
That's right.
You know, about whether you should even just not marry at all and just continue to collect your ex-spouses.
Right. And there's also rules when it comes to, you know, remarriage and things like that. But, you know, generally for ex-spousal benefits, as long as you were married for 10 years or more, and then you've been divorced for at least 2 years, you can collect on your ex-spouse.
Okay. But what about if I'm of the age to collect and my ex-spouse, we meet all those criteria, can I get both my benefit and his benefit? You can get
a combination, but never to exceed the higher of the two benefits.
Okay.
So for example, if I'm entitled to $300 under my own working record, but then I can also get a $1,200 off of my ex-spouse record, then I won't receive both the $300 and the $1,200. I can receive up to the $1,200.
$1,200. Okay.
The higher the two benefits.
Well, that doesn't sound to me like that's fair to to my ex-spouse, because that's clearly it's going to affect his benefit, right?
A great question. And no, it does not affect the ex-spouse or either spouse.
Okay.
So great question. So if I drew on my ex-spouse's record, it's not going to affect their benefits or their current spouse's benefits. So.
Do they have any reason to know that I'm even drawing on their benefit?
No. So when you go apply for these benefits, you know, you're going to go through the Social Security Administration to do those things. And no, when you come in and you prove your 10 years worth of marriages, you're bringing in your marriage certificate and your divorce decree. And the ex-spouse doesn't know that you're drawing off of their record. Okay. And of course, it doesn't really matter because it's not going to affect their current benefits.
I know, but we know how people are. Sometimes they know that there's some catch there somewhere that it's going to cost me. Right.
Right. But no.
So I think that's. I suspect some people worry about that.
That's right, and they shouldn't, because it's an entitlement benefit. You know, they were married for more than 10 years to that spouse, and they're entitled to that, you know, ex-spousal benefit.
And there's no limit, right? If you have more than one ex-spouse that you were married to for 10 years, there could be multiple people drawing off that one employee's work credit history, right?
That's correct. If I had 3 previous marriages that each lasted for more than 10 years, they all 3 could draw off of my record. And it wouldn't affect my benefit. It wouldn't affect my, say, current spouse benefit.
So on spouse number 4.
That's right. That's right. Which it happens.
Yeah,
I'm sure it does.
Sure it does. Maybe not you, because you don't look young, old enough for that yet. But.
Well, and sometimes it's not always divorce. Sometimes there's a death.
That's right.
So if someone's receiving benefits and they pass away, but they still have minor children, they're survived by a spouse. There's some benefits for those people as well.
That's right. Survivor benefits are for the surviving spouse and children who are under the age of 18, 19 if they're still in high school. Also, if there's a surviving spouse that has a minor child, she too can receive benefits as a surviving spouse, even if she's not of age. If she's caring for a child under the age of 16, she can also receive benefits as well.
And then when those children age out, the spouses, the widow's spouse, benefits may cease until then she becomes of age, which is
at age 60 for widow benefits. And of course, keeping in mind that the widow benefits start at age 60, but it also comes into play if they are currently working, because there is also a limit on how much you can work and make and receive widow benefits.
Okay.
So let me throw this one at you, because right now it looks like you're batting 100%.
Right. I know, it feels like a quiz, right?
Okay. So let's say that someone dies at age 59.
Okay.
Okay, and then they're survived by a 55-year-old spouse.
Right.
So does Social Security come into play at that time?
Well, there's, yes, a couple of things that happen. They'll be able to receive a lump sum death payment. Now, the lump sum death payment is just a mere $255.
And that's regardless of age?
That's right. And it's just one
as long as I've got 40 quarters, right?
That's right.
Gotcha.
And it's just a one-time payment.
Gotcha.
And then they wouldn't be receiving widow benefits until at least age 60.
I gotcha.
However, if that individual, that surviving spouse, became disabled, widow benefits for a disabled widow start as early as age 50.
I gotcha. So if my spouse if she were disabled on SSDI, she would start drawing immediately.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay.
So, and of course, if there are any children under the age of 18.
Right. So age 59, I die, wife 55, and if there were children under 18, then they would start drawing immediately.
That's right. That's right.
Do the benefits go to her or to the children, or I guess
they'll go to the children, but it will be administered by mom.
By parent. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Bringing it back to remarriage later in life.
Right.
Yes.
So we have a widow that's collecting off of her deceased spouse.
Right.
That is contemplating remarriage. She needs to think about that she's perhaps going to lose that benefit then.
That's right, because the rule for widow benefits, if someone started to receive widow benefits, say, at age, 58 or because they were disabled, if she remarries prior to age 60, then she won't be able to draw on that first widow benefit. But if she remarries after the age of 60, then she can draw on still that widow benefit or maybe her current spouse.
Okay.
Then she needs to evaluate the potential earning impact. Who was the greater earner, and what was.
That's right.
And who do we get that counsel from?
I mean, it sounds like nobody knows that. Well, I realize you do, but I mean, people that are like we're talking about. This theme of the show is that. Who thinks about Social Security when when they're remarrying?
Well, I mean, the rules are complex, and that's why you want to have different advisors to help you. Obviously we're here, you guys are here, that we can kind of help assist families in understanding all those things. But the Social Security Administration is also there. Time limitations I know applies, and it gets kind of complex. But every family should look into these things, because even though we covered a lot of this information, it could be case specific. There could be exceptions as well.
Right.
I know.
So what about Medicare? Can a non-working spouse get Medicare through the other working spouse?
Kind of same rules apply if the ex-spouse is at least age 62 and the other spouse is approaching 65. Even though they may have not worked and paid into the system to be insured themselves for Medicare, they can still get it off on their ex-spouse.
Okay. So it applies. Oh, that's interesting.
Yep.
So you have 62-year-olds getting Medicare on their ex-spouse.
Oh, no.
As long as
the other spouse has to be at least 62,
65.
And then the spouse who's approaching Medicare age, say 65, can get Medicare.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a thinker too.
Yeah. It's kind of a puzzle we always try to solve with families.
All right.
Frank, I think we have your contact information, FEDlogic, FEDlogicgroup.com. We thank you for being here and sharing your expertise. I mean, it is just a deep well of information. And next time when we come back from break, we're going to be talking about love in assisted living facilities or even love in the nursing home. Stay tuned.